Hello. Hello, hello, hello. These are live writing sessions with Delores. Come on in, child. Come on in. You know how we do. Gotta get it done. Gotta get this writing done, honey. All right, let's see what we got here. I want to make sure y'all can hear me good. Let's see. Hey, y'all. Come on in. Get your writing stuff together. Okay. I know I have some explaining to do. Let me go ahead and start my vibration plate because I know y'all probably tripping. Y'all probably low key a little upset with your girl. I don't know, cause I've been a little MIA lately. So I gotta admit, you guys, I hold on, let me make sure y'all can hear me good first. Okay. All right. I know I have some explaining to do. Let me go ahead. Right, you got some explaining to do, girl. Tell him the Lord. Explain yourself, girl. Y'all get up. Come on in. As soon as you come in, go ahead and like the video because you know how we do it over here, child. We're going to get to writing and we're not going to be thinking about liking no videos and, sharing and doing all that stuff, child. Okay? So go on, do it now. Get it done. All right. Child, let me put this on. Ooh. Mhm. Yep. I'm looking down at my screen, y'all. That's what I'm looking at when I look down or I'm looking at comments. I'm currently streaming live on 7 different pages right now. So wherever you're following me, it may be Facebook, it may be my personal Facebook page, the Daughters of Discernment Facebook page, it may be Daughters of Discernment on YouTube, Discernment Dance with Delores on YouTube. Wherever you are, just say hey. Let me know in the let me know where you are in the world. Like what time is it right now? Here it is 1:56. Y'all, look at this. Watch just dead, child. The watch is useless when it's dead. Okay, where's my charger? I'll worry about that later. Okay, I know I got some explaining to do. So let me go ahead and we're gonna get our music started. We're gonna get our screen ready. Okay, y'all go ahead and get your writing stuff together. Okay. Just a little bit of a lay of the land here. We do 50 minutes of focused work, 10 minutes of a movement break so you can be on your vibration. My hair shaking. You could be on your vibration plate like I am right now, or or you could do some other type of movement. I love to line dance. I actually teach line dance, so sometimes you may see me out here line dancing, child. Okay, so whatever your whatever you like to do to just get up and move, I encourage you to do that during the 10-minute movement break. Okay, I'll just like to get on the vibration plate because I could just come on here and I could talk to y'all while, I'm on, like we're on our break and I'm getting my movement in at the same time. So they say like these vibration plates are really good for like lymphatic drainage and stuff like that. So that's a good thing, right? Because you want to be taking a break with a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're going to take a break here, but I want it to, I want to still be making some progress on something. So, let me tell you guys about this. Let me tell you about this peptide lip balm that I have on that I just put on, you guys. It is glowy peptide lip balm. Let me see. The color is glazed mocha, and just a light color, just a really light color. But when I tell y'all, like this is some of the best gloss I have ever used, and you can grab you a tube as well. Let me go ahead and put that QR code right here for y'all, so um y'all can grab y'all some products while we're on the live. And it's also available. It should be also available in the right there, that corner right there. Okay, up in the screen. So once we get started, I'll just move this QR code and then, but yeah, go ahead and grab that glowy peptide lip balm right out of my store, my pharmacy store, and get y'all some, honey. Okay, so y'all, I have to admit, I have been going through like a little like a little bout of depression. Like I just haven't been I haven't been feeling I just ain't been feeling myself. I know it's like it's I feel like I'm going like it's some type of like breakthrough, you know? Like I get like this like just before, like while I'm having this breakthrough, it's just before like the breakthrough is kind of revealed to me. You know what I mean? And it and this seems to be a pattern. Like I'm picking up on the patterns here, okay? Because that's what we do over here. Because we have discernment, we pick up on the patterns, okay? So I've been picking up on the patterns, and it's like that seems to be the pattern, which gives me a lot of clarity now. Like during this particular bout, or this particular episode, and I don't even want to call it like a depression because really I feel like this type of there's a certain type of depression that's spiritual. You know what I mean? Like it shows up in like your physical, right? Like how you're behaving, how you're interacting with people, your thinking, ability to stay focused, stuff like that, right? It shows up sleeping, all that'll show up physically. But we don't need to neglect the spiritual side of things. And sometimes, what we feel naturally and what we try to we try to medicate ourselves and do all these things in a natural sense, not realizing that spiritually is where the work needs to happen, where the insight and the clarity needs to come. And so I feel like I'm going through one of those periods, right? I'm calling it that, but it's not really that, even though it's kind of manifesting itself in like depression type symptoms for me. But I know that this is like a really big spiritual breakthrough, and you know, and it just has this effect on me sometimes. It's weird. But that's kind of like why I haven't been in doing these sessions in a minute, and I hate that I've been like that. So moving forward, I'm trying to like when I have these moments, I'm gonna try to push through, be consistent still, and show up. And I just hadn't been there, like in my head, in my heart. I just ain't really been there. And so that's why I haven't been on here. I haven't been showing up for y'all. But I pray that you all have, took a little motivation from the sessions that we were doing prior. And, really still working towards your writing goals and, what you're trying to do, telling the truth. That's what this is all about. So even if you don't release anything that you have written, I mean, there's a ton of things that I've written that I probably never will release. But I needed to write it. I needed to get it out. I needed to process it in that way. And, that's why these sessions can be really therapeutic for you. And because it could be therapeutic, that's what makes it even more important that we take these movement breaks as we can, because sometimes this stuff is heavy. But this, you may find that these sessions are really therapeutic for you because it's structured. I'm here. You can get in the comment section, and it's almost like even though we're not in the same space, we're in the same space. And at least spiritually we're moving in the same direction. Like we have goals that we're trying to do. We're trying to continue our healing journey from our daddy issues, from trauma and things that we've experienced and witnessed and stuff that has really weighed on us in adulthood. And we want to go ahead and like address those things and conquer those things, and be the women that we want to be the daughter we want to be. And sometimes that means that the relationship, that parent may not have access to you or may have limited access to you, maybe for a time period. But if you are someone who's navigating that decision, because I also had to navigate that decision, and there was a process that I went through. But sometimes what we really need to help us make decisions like this is a good framework. So you'll find in the description of this video, and let me go ahead and put it in the comments for you too, you'll find the decision audit. And this is for people who are just trying to navigate that really difficult decision that we all dread. We dread this is, some people can't even fathom, being faced with this decision of, do you cut your parent off, because they've been so toxic, or because you need to be selfish and focus on your health, whatever the reason is. Sometimes people will just never understand that, and that's great. I love that. I really love that for them. And for the ones that don't have that same experience, or I'm here for you. So, and we can create a community where it's not all about us just sharing our traumatic stories, but we have a healthy way of getting it out of us, and this is one of those ways. So go ahead and grab the decision audit if you like to, and if you're faced with that, that same decision point that we all dread. So I went ahead and took that QR code off the screen. I'll put it back on there when we go on our next break. And let me go ahead and share. Oh, child, I thought I had already did this. That's what I meant to do anyway, while I was sitting here running my mouth. So y'all just be letting me run on and run on, child. All right. And again, I want to give a shout out to Million Reason. It's a channel on YouTube that I'm using for our countdown. And I love it. Don't you guys love this countdown video? It's really cool. So the channel is Million Reason, and it's a 50-minute countdown timer. And they have other times that you can count down. So, if you're interested in, maybe in your own sessions, you could pull up these videos, and, or, if you don't want to use the, your timer on your phone or something like that, on your watch, you can just, go to these videos. It's kind of like something that just is like white noise in the background. So it doesn't distract you, but it drowns out a bit of the silence, or so, sometimes that's really good for the writing process. Okay. And let me go ahead and turn this down, because child, the volume can be really loud. So you don't want it to be like at a volume where it's distracting you from your work, So here we go. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started writing. Hey y'all. How was it? How was that last session? It seems like the first session feels like you know what I mean, like you're still just trying to get your bearings. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good to go longer than it's good to go longer than an hour for sure. But sometimes it's good to first go ahead and do like this first 15-minute session, and then kind of get your bearings. Okay, like what am I doing? What am I working on? Where did I leave off? At the last session. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it takes a minute to kind of get yourself together. So for this first, really for the whole thing, I was really still just trying to get my bearings, trying to figure out, okay, what am I trying to accomplish tonight? I started this morning. Child, I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning where I am in Alabama. Where are you guys? Where are you? Let me know in the comments, where are you writing from? Where are you right now? What are you working on? I'm your accountability partner, you guys. You're my accountability partner. That's why I tell y'all what I'm doing. Y'all tell me what you're doing. It's like you're reinforcing it for yourself too. It's like when you put it out there, there is something very powerful about getting it out. And then you receive it back because you're hearing yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're hearing what you're trying to accomplish. So, I mean, I can't hear you. That's why I tell you put in the chat, child. I can't hear you. Okay. But even if you're just telling it to yourself, you're just talking to the screen while I'm talking, like you're talking to me. That works too, child. Okay. So yeah, that last session was pretty good, but like I said, I was just trying to get my bearings, trying to figure out what exactly do I want to accomplish. Where did I leave off last time I was doing these sessions, which has been days. Like it's been days since I've, sat down and, did focus work. I mean, which is like, it's not good, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I got to get out of is like trying to assess whether, trying to assess it, or label something as good or bad. It just is what it is. Okay. I went through my spell, you know, I'm coming out of it. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm out of it, but I'm definitely seeing the sunshine. So, that's a good thing. And I probably laid down for like an hour before I just was like, let me just get up and get back in the groove of things, and just made myself get on up, but it wasn't as force, as a force as it, has been, so it was like I needed a little bit of a pep, but it was a lot less than a pep I needed days ago. So that's pretty good. That's progress. Okay. So let's just be grateful, and acknowledge our progress, acknowledge our small steps, just getting back in the groove of things. If y'all are like me, you go through these spells, where it's like you just like pedal to the metal. You're like, yes, I'm focused. I'm clear, know what I'm doing. I'm gonna, go full on, full max. You know what I mean? But other times it's like, oh, like I just don't even have the energy. I don't have the desire. It's like I don't feel like it. Like I don't want to do it. There is, there. I think I've talked to y'all about this before. Like there is some validity in like pushing through when you feel those moments, but also like it's kind of okay to lean into it too. Sometimes your body just needs the rest, and sometimes you're not listening to it. You're not listening to your body when your body needs the rest, and then you think, okay, I just push through. Then that just like that's good. I'm pushing through. Child, I don't know. You just got to use your discernment, okay? You gotta use your discernment. You know how you are. You know your patterns. When you need that push. Like be in tune with yourself. Like, nah, this is not just me needing the rest. But also give it that analysis too. Like, does my body need rest? And allow that to be the case if that's the case. Like I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to myself too, child. I'm hearing myself back because I need this talk. I need this talk. So I'm giving y'all what I need. Okay. I'm really giving it to me, but I'm just sharing it with y'all. Okay. So it wasn't I didn't ate my lip gloss off. I had a little I had a little snack. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and rub my I just put some more of my little peptide lip balm. The glowy it's glowy peptide lip balm, you guys. When you go to the site to order yours, and they've got other colors too. We've got other colors for y'all. It's a really good lip balm. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some of my chili and paprika. Chili and paprika. Cause you know my hip starts to hurt from sitting down for sitting in that chair. And then sometimes I sit weird because it's like it's uncomfortable sometimes. But it's like I just bear through because I want to get stuff accomplished. And like when I was writing my first book, my memoir, um, I did a lot of writing laying down. So that's why I tell y'all, you don't have to be actually sitting up at your desk, like I am right now. I'm really just kind of doing this more for the sessions, and so that we can create this pattern and this routine, right? So this is me creating a pattern and routine by sitting down and being focused and in one spot. I have all of my things there. I have my spread of stuff that I'm working on. I already have it ready and it's already still sitting there from the last session. So that keeps me steady you know and which is what I need sometimes in my working in my process of getting stuff done, getting projects done, getting writings done and stuff like that. I have to have that you know that steadiness. I'm sitting at the desk, I'm focused, I'm working, right? But there are times when you don't need that, right? You can like lay down. For instance, like a lot of my book was written laying down. It was written by voice recording that was transcribed. So, think of these writing sessions as, not as confined as sitting at a desk. I'm doing this, like I said, for the structure of it. But also, you can get stuff done in a non-traditional way. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it your way. Do what works for your body. Like, let's say you're bedridden. You could be bedridden right now and write a book. Could you not? You can. You totally can. And you totally should. Okay. That part. You totally should. Have a project of like just sharing your story, just getting it, just getting it out. And I think when you start to write your story, y'all, I think you're gonna really learn a lot about yourself. You're gonna have a lot of clarity about like who you are. You'll start to like really figure out your purpose. That's when I figured out my purpose. When I wrote that book, I realized like I am gifted. I'm a gifted discerner. And that's where a lot of the conflict came in with me and my father. So writing this book gave me a whole lot of clarity that I would have never gotten by being under his spiritual leadership. My father was a pastor, but it wasn't like he nurtured my discernment skills. Those were a threat to him. It was like, okay, she's keen on things. She notices patterns. She observes nonverbal communication. She could read between the lines. She could read the room. You know what I mean? Like, these were skills I had as a child. And you can imagine for a parent who is deceptive, for their child to call them out on their behavior is like, okay, it angered him. Okay, let's put it that way. It angered him. And so the upbringing that I got was more for the purpose of squelching that, suppressing those abilities that I had, because those abilities threatened him and threatened what he was trying to do. But those were God-given gifts, you know what I mean, that should have been nurtured. And it should have been nurtured even more so because my father was a pastor. So you would think, you know, because you have a pastor as a father and he sees that you're spiritually gifted, that heck yeah, he's gonna, nurture those gifts in you. I mean, that's what he was supposed to be doing for his whole congregation, right? So why not start at home? You would think. But no. those were a threat to him. So that's what I wrote about. And you'll get that clarity too as you're going through your writing process. Then you'll start to realize maybe it wasn't just that people hated me or just treated me like, because it was me. It was, maybe there was a gift that was inside of me. Maybe there was something, a light that people saw that was inside of me. And you won't even get that clarity until you start to write and learn yourself. Okay, y'all, that's enough talking for now. I hope that encouraged you to keep on going and to be motivated, um, to write your story. You know, you're not too young and you're not too old. Like y'all, I have a memoir series. I'm only 45 years old. Oh, and it's like, okay, and I got a story to tell. Child. I don't lived. Okay, I done lived some life, and it's not even about your entire life. Your memoir is about an experience, right? Maybe even something that shapes your life, but not your entire life. It's not an autobiography. It's not a chronology of I was born here and then at 1 years old and at 2 years old and at 5 years old, and it's not like that. It's These are like moments in time that have shaped me that I'm capturing because they are key to my evolution. Everybody has like a hero origin story and a villain origin story in somebody's life. You know what I mean? Like, just tell yours. Don't let anybody else tell the story for you. Tell your own story. So again, you guys, you can grab that the chili and paprika balsam and grab the glowy peptide. These are the products that I've been using on video so far. But I'm going to go ahead and remove the QR code that's on the bottom of the screen. But you still have the QR code right there on the screen. Child. Whatever. It's on y'all's left hand side. Okay. So go ahead and grab those awesome products. And let's go ahead and get back started writing. All right, we have done 2 sessions, y'all. We've done 2 sessions. How are y'all doing? How was that? Whew. I still feel like I was getting my bearings. Right now, I've been doing a lot of business type stuff. Like it's tax season, so I've been going through all of my invoices, receipts, and stuff like that. Um, my husband does the taxes. He has Philip Peters Tax Service. So he does taxes, and he manages the books for our business as well. So he's super excellent with it. He is like A1. Okay. So I'm just going through and making sure that he has all the receipts and invoices that he needs to make sure that the our documents are, pristine, which they always are. We actually get discounts from our accountant because of how excellent he does the books. So let me see. So that was it. Like I realized like this like over the last, let's say, like 3 months or so, that I really lost visibility over like subscriptions, and like where we had like a lot of you know things that we were subscribed to, where money was kind of going in a lot of different directions, and I lost control of it really. And really kind of lost visibility, which is bad. Like that's terrible. Okay, even though I told you I don't assess bad or good anything, that's bad. Okay, when you're not managing your money properly, business wise, personally, that is not good. That's terrible. Okay, terrible. So, one of the things that, for my new year, and it's especially good to start it right now since it's tax season anyway. And, everything like business wise usually starts over at the first of the year, unless, like you're on a fiscal year cycle. But for us, at the beginning of the year is when it all starts over for us. So, for this new year, and this kind of like new season that we're going in, we have a lot of business ventures that we're into, and it just is not good business practice to not have good visibility and good control over the money, especially when it comes to subscriptions, because like that is it's just so recurring, and it just automatically comes out, and you don't even really like you're not really tracking it like that, because it's just so automatic. Which is a good thing, like for my personal finances, I like for things to be done on that way, like where you have your automatic payments and stuff like that, because that's just what's easier for me personally. But as far as like my business, I don't, you know what? And then really, when I think about it, that's not even good for me personally, because even on the personal side of things, I have subscriptions and stuff that I have lost visibility of. Like how okay, there's this show. Hold on, you guys. Let me turn my plate on. There's this show where this guy, he helps people, and there's a bunch of these shows, but this guy helps people like really gain control of their finances. And I think one of the questions that he asks them is like how many subscriptions they have, and then how much money are they putting out in subscriptions. And y'all, like literally everything is on like a subscription basis. I mean, think about all the social subscriptions you have, like entertainment subscriptions, gym memberships. Those are subscriptions. Like you have so many subscriptions, and things that just get, you know, put on auto pay and stuff like that. And then it just happens. So you just kind of lose visibility of it. But that's not really a good way to manage your money. So, really, what is being reflected business wise is definitely like doing it the same way on my personal side. So, I really need to gain control like across the board, personally and business wise. This is just not good business. And now that I'm going back, you guys, I have to admit, I am like truly embarrassed by like, and just shocked at how much money actually went out to subscriptions that I wasn't even using anymore. But because I lost visibility of it, that money was just constantly, 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 constantly going out every single month. And I wasn't even using it anymore. I use it for a certain time. Could have put it on like a pause, because there are subscriptions you could put on pause. Y'all don't have to just completely cancel it, but at least you could stop being charged for it when you're not using it. You're not actively using it. Why are you paying for it? And so, that's what I'm doing right now, is getting a hold of that. That's, what a daughter of discernment does. Like, it's not like we never make mistakes, y'all. Like, I'm making mistakes constantly. And it, part of, you know, because I make mistakes all the time, I have gone through this battle with myself of like imposter syndrome, because I'm like, how can I talk to the daughters about discernment when sometimes my discernment isn't off and I'm not using my best judgment in how I'm doing my finances, business wise or personally, Like, I don't have good control over like all the stuff that I've created. I'm not keeping an inventory. So now it's like it's overwhelming me because it's like it's too much. But a daughter of discernment like recognizes that, it's not that you never make mistakes, it's that you recognize the patterns and then you do something different. You don't continue, with toxic behavior. You don't consider with continue with bad business practices or bad financial practices. When you recognize that this is not beneficial to you, this is not serving you, this is not going to push you in the direction that you want to go in financially, like spiritually, emotionally, like in any way. So you just gotta say, like, as a daughter of discernment, okay, like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, it ends right now. And it ends with a decision after decision. Like, I'm going to get control of this. This is how I do it. I sit here and I have these sessions, and I admit to y'all that this is what I'm going through. That's even part of the process, because then I can conquer it. It's what sometimes when you're in denial of it, you want to just pretend like you're just great financially. You just know how to manage your money. Like, how? Who really taught you? Sometimes that's the case. You never really taught. But now that you're a grown woman, you've got to gain control of that. You've got to teach yourself. You've got to take it, take matters into your own hands and realize, like, as a daughter of discernment, I can't continue this because I want to make the best decisions of my life. And I can't do that when my finances aren't the way they need to be, when I don't have visibility or control over the things that I'm doing in my life. That's just not a good recipe for success. So you recognize that and you do something different. And really, that's what it all boils down to. We're not expected to be perfect. I mean, what is that anyway? I don't even know why people say like, we just need to remove the word from the vocabulary at this point, because it's just perfect is never done. It's just not good. It's not a good word ever, because it's something that you'll never reach, but we just keep throwing it out there, or we compare ourselves to perfection. That is just like, what is that even? What is it? It's just weirdness, But we recognize and we do something different. They say we listen and we don't judge. Now we listen and we judge. Okay, over here. Okay, and then we recognize and we do something different. Okay, that's how that goes. And I think that's part of that recipe for success, and that's how we'll move differently in this year, and for the rest of our lives, for years and years to come. There's just no need for us to continue doing the thing that is just not working for us. It's not working. It's not working for me to have my stuff on auto and not have visibility of it. It's not working for me to continue to create and not have any type of inventory of all the things that I've created, so I know, what I have. I don't even know what I have. Do y'all ever rebuy the same clothes or the same makeup because you forgot you had it, because you don't have visibility over what you have? I mean, maybe these are like first world problems. I mean, we're blessed to be able to do that. But really, is it a blessing for us to continue to do that? To have it where we just live in such abundance that we just are really careless as to managing what we have properly. So much so that we're just rebuying things over and over again. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm so guilty. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I had this, because I just lost visibility of it and just bought the same thing over again. I did that with a pair of shoes one time. Y'all, I was like, oh my God, really? Like I said, I guess I really liked them. Okay, I'm like I am a shoe fanatic. Like, if you guys have seen my videos, where I'm doing videos in my glam room, you see the shoe rack. It goes all the way like pretty much to the ceiling. It's pretty big. You know what? I didn't even count. I just realized I never counted them. I never counted all those shoes in there. I didn't count them. That might be my next to do. Okay, count all the shoes and the boots and stuff you have, girl. You even got a good inventory of all your shoes. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one day. It's not a priority. Okay, so that's way way down on the list. But I do want to. I do want to be a better manager. Better managing what I'm over. A better steward. That's how we say it, in church. I want to be a better steward of the things that God has given me because He's given it to me for a reason. Like you use these things for the building of the kingdom to enrich yourself, to bless other people. And one good thing about me though is that, when I notice that I'm, living in this abundance and I clean out and stuff, like I bless other people. I don't throw stuff away and just goes to the garbage, but I make sure that it goes to a good place and stuff. So at least, you know, and me being a little bit of a glutton, at least, I'm blessing someone else, on the back end of it, I guess, Guess it's just kind of like my little saving grace at the end of the day. And we owe ourselves that sometimes. We owe ourselves a little bit of grace, you know. Um, but we also should recognize those patterns that are no longer serving us, that are toxic to us, um, and do something different. You know, that's it. That's all. So, you guys, let me know in the comments how these sessions are working for you. I told you I'm going to be, not want to be, I'm going to be more consistent. I want to show up for you guys and show up for myself more, because while I'm not doing this with y'all, I'm also not doing this, by myself. So, I just want to be more present, be more consistent, be the daughter that y'all can depend on to be here when she says she's going to be here, you know, and at least, sometimes I communicate better with you guys when I'm, kind of going through a little bit of a spell. But, sometimes I just find that it's just better just to pull back some. If I feel like I'm doing too much, I get a little overwhelmed, a little overstimulated, energy gets zapped, you know. But I do want to be a better communicator when those things are happening. So, I mean, because we sisters, you know what I'm saying? We sisters over here. So I know I can share that with y'all. I can share what I'm going through with y'all. So again, you guys, let me know in the chat, what are y'all working on? I'm your accountability partner. You're my accountability partner. So, let's hold each other accountable for the things that we want to create. If you want to, just put it out there and just share it so it holds you accountable. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what you're trying to create. If you have a timeline that you want me to help you stick to, just share it with me and be like, hey, didn't you say you trying to get that book out at the end of the year? What's up, sis? What's the status? And sometimes it's really helpful to come up with a good plan. Put those prompts into your chat GPT and tell chat GPT, like, treat chat GPT like you're talking to me, right? But just talking to your chat and just say, because it has a microphone feature, right? So you can just talk into it, tell it what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, the time frame that you're trying to accomplish, who you're serving, who you want this to speak to. If you don't know that stuff yet, tell it you don't know that stuff yet. I don't know who this is for. Help me to come up with that. Help me to determine who my message is for, based on what my message is, based on what I've been through, based on who I am. These are all very, very helpful tools that'll help you. And I want you to be able to get all that helpful information here. Like when we do our breaks, I want you guys to be, enriched. I could tell you guys the applications I'm using. Y'all put some questions in the chat. I am an international bestseller. My memoir, hold on. The Pastor's Daughter Provoked, international bestseller on launch day. And you could, let me see, I don't even think I put a link of where you can grab this book. You can grab it off Amazon. It's available on Amazon too, but I also have it available in my own bookstore. And that's another thing, like, where are you in your writing journey? Are you, at a place where you're about to release your book, and you're wanting like kind of some guidance or insight on that process? I haven't been traditionally published, but I have put together my book proposal, which needs a little bit of editing, to submit it to Hay House for consideration for a book deal. So I am going to go through that process, and I'll tell you guys about that process too. I've taken several classes, some of the information that I got from those classes, I'm more than willing to share. And, just to help you guys enhance your writing journey as well. um, the applications that I use to help with my writing process. I can help you with that. Um, I can help you with the social media aspects of it, and even the emotional and the therapeutic side of writing and getting your book out and just getting that information out of you. I'm an Ashley certified counselor, even though I do not, I'm not counseling, and I'm not acting in that field, but I do have that background. I do have that knowledge base. And I use that background and that knowledge base to enrich you guys now. Even though I'm not doing any counseling, this is not therapy. This is the lab. Okay. We are in the lab, we're in the writing lab. And in the lab, some things happen, and there is a emotional process to um, writing and telling your truth. And so, if you need assistance with that, just let me know. Just get in the chat, and then, we'll talk it out on our writing breaks. But I'm going to end for now and take a little break myself, and then I may lay down or something like that, and then I'm going to come back, and then we'll have another session. Okay, y'all. I love y'all, and don't say nothing if I have on the same clothes. I might have on the same clothes. Okay, I want to head. I might be back with the same clothes on in this next session. We're going to, matter of fact, I'm coming back with the same clothes on just because. All right. I love y'all. Bye bye for now.